Apple. 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 Apple.
Hey, Rob Bot, if you coming into the building, Young Elder Gang, this is about to be a good one. We going lit, we going live. I told you, this right here is the evening class. We about to crack heads and twist caps. If you got a ball cap on, you might want to take that joint off. Me and Hakeem about to twist cap up in this joint. Somebody send a link to the brother Rod Haynes. On the tell him we live. And we about to make it happen. The Big Meech connection. What the brother Rob Haynes is saying. Everybody's saying that he's going crazy when he's talking about Big Meech. So we're going to show you the connections that we got on. Put it down, and we're going to put that together with what Rob Haynes said. And we're going to show you what time it is. On the land. All across the land, we're going to show you what time it is. With the Big Meech connection. Hold up. Let me get that screen share. Let me get you off that black screen, because that black screen is kind of, you know, even though black give you time to use your imagination, that screen really give you time to use your imagination as we flow, as the wind blows. Give me time to set up the thumbnail. Let's blow one of these pictures up. And we're gonna be talking about we're gonna talk about all the connections. Jeff Ford, the whole connection. Right? With Big Meech, the Flemings, the connection in Detroit. You think Big Meech was up to $300 million and the government didn't know about him? You gotta get the hell up out of here with it. You gotta get the hell up out of here with it. Niggas didn't own planes. Niggas don't own aircraft carriers. Niggas don't own all rigs. Well, I take that back. It's niggas that own all rigs now. There's a couple people that was Nubian dudes that own all rigs. But at the time, as far as bringing the shit into the country, the people that was responsible, you know who the people that was responsible for that. And those same, we can't say their name, but they got alphabets for their name. And they was in with Rick Ross. They made a whole series about it, about how they was using Rick Ross and other brothers across when they spread it when they saw what it was doing in California. They started spreading this particular format to other big major cities to decrease the to make us poor. That's one reason. There's always three reasons. And shout out to brother Randy Christian. Much love, my brother. We in the building. We about to wow. Hey, we about to wow you. Let me get that. Hakeem probably when he's ready to go to sleep because this body's usually the time for him to take his nap. So he probably sit here and make a little noise until he fall asleep. We're gonna be back again tonight. Let me get that thumbnail loaded up. All right. Rob, for people that's in here for the evening class, this shit is about to be good. And when I tell you, Young Elder be calling them out. I'm like that cop on Minister Society when he had Kane up in there for that robbery. He said, you know you done effed up, don't you? They know they done effed up. Because everybody thinking that Rob Haynes is crazy when he was talking about Big Meech, Jeff Ford, he be hollering out Larry Hoover. We're about to put some more emphasis on this shit and give you more pieces to this puzzle. All right. Let's start here. All right. Keep in mind about the gold braid, and keep in mind who the ancient Egyptians are. The ancient Egyptians are over here in America. It's a group of beings that's of the royal bloodline, and this is like a royal dovetail for the ancient Egyptians, for the pharaoh's kids, right? Okay, let's pull up another picture so we can give you a better. Because Big Meech telling us something in these pictures. I'm going to show you. He's shooting a whole bunch of symbols. All right, see that brother? He rocking it. My son's got it. I think Prince York, all the princes got these braids. All the princes, right? It's really like an African prince braid. That's why they showed you in Coming to America, right? Hold on, let me show you. And keep in mind, in the movie, they must didn't let me get that picture. Okay, this is the movie right here. This is Lil Meech. This is actually Big Meech, his real son. But when he playing his father, they make reference to for him having that tail in the back, right? That tail in the back. Him and his brother got one, right, to blow it up for you a little bit bigger. Now, and we wear this in our tribe, our young man, the princes in our tribe, and in the Wapians and in the Sapiens, they wear this braid. And it goes back to that picture I just showed you of, I think that was King Tut's, and it showed you the back of it. It's really a gold prince braid and it represents a royal bloodline. We part of the royal bloodline of the original Far people, the royal bloodline. We were the pharaoh bloodline that got took down and came over here. And that's why they building pyramids over here. See, if those people, we are more so advanced species than the people that's originally in Africa or the Far people. We are more advanced species now, but we come from that bloodline, and we are the original pyramid builders over here in America. These we Nubians, but this ducktail represents that royal bloodline coming down from all the pharaohs, right? And so they made a good reference in the movie to make sure they had Big Meech with Big Meech's son, who playing him as he coming up in the game. And during the movie, before the movie, he didn't have his ducktail, right? But in the movie, they made sure they made Pacific. They play games like this. So they play these games like this. They hide shit right there on you, and then they don't. You sitting there just looking at it, and you thinking it just for no reason. It's a reason why they put that ducktail, because they know Big Meech go back to that bloodline that I just showed you. Hold on, let me show you another picture. I got another picture in here for you. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? They might didn't let me save my thumbnails. Okay, hold up. We about to get you. Don't worry about nothing. If you're sleeping on the young elder, you about to get a crook in your neck. If you're sleeping on the young elder, you're about to get a crook in your neck, bro. You're about to get a crook in your neck. But it goes back to they didn't let me say my thumbnail, but it goes back to us as ancient Egyptians, and it goes back not just to, because it was like different species that can be considered as ancient Egyptians. But this goes back to a Pacific tribe called the Afar tribe. And the Goa'ulds mix in with the demigods. And so the royal bloodline carried this ducktail. All right. And you see the Moors fez too. We're gonna connect that too with the tassel hanging from it. Right, because we had another style ducktail for the warrior braid. For the warrior braid, it came down from the top. Then you got the mother Ninty braid that comes down on the side by the ear. All right, just to make this connection, Hakeem, be cool, bro. Just to make this connection, because Rob Haynes be talking about Jeff Ford. Now, why is Jeff Ford got a fez on? Why is Jeff Ford got a Terry Bush? And they said that he was a gangbanger and he started the Peace Stones and they gangbanging. And if he gangbanging, why he got a fez on? What is he banging? Moor science? What is he banging? These niggas dress like Moors, but they supposed to be some criminals. They telling you on the TV and the news and the media, and they promote it. So they keep these brothers locked up and telling you that they are promoting evil and violence, and what they promoting, because we told you the people who guard this shit, and now you're gonna find, you already know about the other alphabet boys, right? That start with an F. Those boys are coming down from the same people who wear our hat, but they clowns. They clowns, and they know about the mounds. They clowns that know about the mounds, right? Right? They clowns and they wear our shit in secret. They wear our crowns, our fez, our Terry Bush in secret. But then they after people like this dude, because Jeff Ford was promoting more science. Everybody that got took down, let's think about it. We're gonna bring it all together. And Jeff Ford is connected. It's all connected with Larry Hoover, all that. Why is Jeff Ford wearing a damn fez? That's what I want you to tell me. But they told us they were black pea stones and they were dealing drugs and they were gang bangers and they was taking over. They were criminals. They criminals. You know? And these boys got to know something. Look at Big Meech shooting signs. If Big Meech was just a dumb drug dealer, why is he on here shooting signs? Why has he got his ears, both of his hands over his ears? And if you know anything about signs, you know that means hear nothing, hear no evil. And then the other brother standing in the back is doing the see no evil. And then the other brother is speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil. So why is Big Meech shooting signs? Is he just some dumb gangbanger that don't know nothing? And how you get up to $300 million without the government taking you down? I'm gonna tell you, Big Meech was in the same boat with like Rick Ross. They were pumping this shit out, and he was a pawn. Big Meech was used by a pawn by the Alphabet boys to pump this shit into the whole East Coast and the Midwest, right? And he really was he really only supposed to be in jail, but the reason why he in jail is because he was stunned, and they wanted him to be cool like Rick Ross and just lay low and buy property, and you know you could buy your Corvette, something nice, but don't be showing you how much money you got. Big Meech was different from Rick Ross. Rick Ross wasn't stunned as hard. He'd have a nice house, but he was really low key type of dude when they was working with him. When they started working with Big Meech, he was cool. If Big Meech was a type of dude that was always flashy like that since he was a kid, since he came up. Why? Because he royalty. That's why they're showing you that he wearing that braid in the back. That his son wearing that braid in the back in that movie. I mean, in the series. So because they know Big Meech was. That's why he was picked. They pick people. They pick people because they know who you are. And they pick people. Big Meech was picked, and you can trace the. If you look at the movie, it's a connection between Bumpy Johnson and Big Meech ancestors, because going back before Big Meech probably was born, or a little bit while he was a kid, well, he's going back in the '60s, going back probably before the '60s when Bumpy Johnson was. It's like '63. It had to be like right around. Yeah, it had to be during the '60s. Some people, when they had a meeting, when Bumpy Johnson had a meeting to pump the doozy on the streets, right? And he brought every chief or kingpin on the land to that area to make a deal with them. They call it 10 city states or something that he says in Bumpy Johnson. They got it in the series on part 2, right? His wife wrote about it in her book about the life of Bumpy Johnson. Named Mimi. His wife's name was Mimi. Right. So the people that met the gang from Detroit that met up with Bumpy Johnson was called the Flemings. And I said, oh shit, this shit is crazy. That's back in the '60s. So Big Meech even was selling the shit. He started in like the '80s. I was like, oh shit, this is a connection. And then we traced it down, found the Flemings is connected with the Williams, and the Williams, they're really the same family, and those Williams go back to the ancient Egyptians. So now it explains why they put that ducktail on Big Meech's son inside of that series. Because you got to keep in mind, 50's in on this, and Big Meech was one of the people. He had so much money, he helped a lot of rappers out. Atlanta was on, the whole East Coast was on when Big Meech was on, when he was out. All the rappers in Atlanta, anybody that had some kind of skill, you go to Big Meech, he had such a big heart. He was giving a lot of money out. Niggas don't know about that. He was putting everybody on. 20, 40 niggas is riding with him, and everybody got a Ferrari. Everybody got a Ferrari, nigga, or some kind of foreign car. Everybody got a chain. Everybody got a watch. Nobody felt left out. That's how Big Meech stayed in the game so long, though. He showed love, even though he probably didn't get none back as far as all the money that he was giving out. Even though I don't condone and what he was doing, but he was mind controlled. Big Meech was mind controlled and hypnotized by them Alphabet boys when they started putting them on, and he was protected by them. Because how did he stay out so long doing it? And how did they really? They didn't really have nothing on them when they got him. They really didn't have nothing on him but a couple phone conversations that he was talking about some money, and they just hit him with a Rico and say, yeah. See, he's talking about money on this. He connected with everybody else. And then some dudes, they really didn't have nothing. Even if they had some niggas that were snitching, they really didn't have nothing on Big Meech. Right? But you got to know that we don't own no boats. We don't own no damn crate carriers, the big ass boat crate carriers that bring that shit over here. We don't own no submarines, none of that. So the people that was bringing it in, all you got to do is watch the Rick Ross series called Some Falls. It's called Falls or something. I'll think of the name. Somebody dropped that series name in the chat, the one that got about Rick Ross, where he was working with the white dude and the alphabet boys, and they was, destroying our community with this shit. But like I say, Big Meech, they picked him. He was picked for this. Hakeem's starting to get sleepy now. We was picked for this. He was picked for this. To front the whole East Coast, especially Atlanta. Everybody, if you probably seen so many Ferraris in Atlanta. Yeah, it's called Snowfall. Thank you. I am T King. Hey, it's called Snowfall, right? So the same, you take that same story, and really you can overlay it with Big Meech story, because right now 50 Cent in the first part of, like the first half of the story, like the first 1/4 of the story. On the second series, they finna get into a little bit more about Big Meech's story and Teddy Flint, his brother Teddy, Southwest T. Right, and so it's a reason why his name even Southwest T. It's a whole connection and all this shit. And keep in mind, these boys go back to the royal bloodline. That's why they got that ducktail on. All right, and all Big Meech got to know something, and we're gonna bring back the Larry Hoover connection too. Big Meech got to know something, right? Because he always hitting the left foot forward in jail. And I'm gonna tell you, and the ancestors are gonna allow me to say this, but I really wasn't supposed to even tell you this. But the ancestors are gonna allow me to say it. Now you already know the part about the left foot forward in ancient Kemet. And Big Meech, all the pictures you see him, he always shooting his left foot forward. And really, he's standing in a Masonic stance, which is like the fellow craftsman. But it really go back to ancient Kemet, from the going back to our craft for Amun-Ra. He's standing really in the position of the craft of Amun-Ra. So this dude ain't no damn dummy. He knows something about ancient Kemet. He ain't no damn dummy. He's standing in every picture. I can pull up another for you. Let me show you. He on there doing it. Look at him. And how he's standing is an ancient Egyptian Amun-Ra craft. That's a particular level in the craft where they give you this sign. I ain't gonna tell you. That's the only thing the ancestors gonna allow me to tell you on. Because I'm part of the craft of Amun-Ra. You got to be from the black mother's womb to be part of this craft. But why is Big Meech always got his left foot forward, which means to trample down on evil? He go jet forward. He shooting signs. He pointing up. Same thing that Noble Drew Ali was doing. This is a Masonic symbol. And man, we just showed you Jeff Ford with the fez on. Let's see if we got some more pictures of Jeff Ford. Okay, hold up. There you go. Hold up. Oh, there you go, right there. He holding it square, right? And they telling you that these people were criminals. What was he doing criminal? Trying to wake the people back up to the moral science. I'm telling you, man, the Native American culture of we being the first over here. All these guys are political prisoners, man, in the war in the war against the people who are trying to keep us down. All right. They told you that Larry Hoover was a gangbanger, a drug dealer, and a criminal and a killer. But he dressing like a damn Hebrew. Was he really a criminal, or was he awakening the people, or he had a certain type of influence? See, Larry Hoover, his reason for, and that's why he in it, that's why he in Florence, Colorado, just like Baba, because he had influence. And not only did he had influence, he had a whole army of niggas, the gangster disciples, right? And you know, Jesus had disciples, right? If you want to go with the Bible story, right? Jesus had 12 disciples. Why is he wearing a Jewish star, right? And we can go back farther than that, the star of David, the star of Solomon, whatever, however they want to spin it. We can go back even farther than that. Where they represent a trap that we created to trap the reptilians, the trap Hala, right? So they gangster disciples, and they telling you that these people are criminals and they're gangbangers. So what wizard was he talking about if he dressed like a Hebrew, got the beard like a Hebrew, following the whole culture, right? He got the and he rocking a Pacific headdress that we rock as Hebrews, but they telling you he gangbanging. This Jeff Ford picture with that fez on, it sends a warm feel to my heart that Jeff Ford was putting more science out back then, because you gotta keep in mind, all these people, a lot of these people are coming from the Detroit, Chicago area where the more science was the root of it was coming from, as far as starting in America, the upper state area. So these brothers, and keep in mind, Big Meech coming from Detroit as well. So put it together, man. Put it together. All right, so I got his 50 Cent and got his son, Big Meech's son, and then they call the Black Mafia family. The Black Mafia family. That's gonna come back up. But he got Big Meech's son, 50. And I think it's a payback for Big Meech helping him with his career. Big Meech helped a lot of rappers out because he was getting so much money, it wasn't nothing for him, you know, to get a nigga 100,000, put a chain around his neck, put a watch on him. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, drive this Ferrari, nigga. You know what I'm saying? I got 10 others, and I'm gonna get 2 more probably next month. You know, that's how Big Meech was, right? And so now you got a young rapper coming up in the game, and he did the same thing with Young Jeezy. You got rappers coming up in the game, they riding around in Ferrari. You afraid, especially if you was a rapper trying to get on, you run into Big Meech. Big Meech give you a couple 100,000, put your chain around your neck, and then you ain't signed no contract or nothing with him. You just put 300,000 in your pocket, man. Get this nigga put him in the Ferrari, put him a chain on him, watch, get him some earrings, fix him up, take him shopping, get him a couple clothes, put him in the game. Now you like a young rapper coming up in the game, and niggas see you, when they see you on and you start filming yourself on whatever TV, whatever, they say, man, that nigga on, he a rapper coming up, boom dance. A lot of niggas blew up like that, like 50 and what's the other nigga name? Man, although 50 was already getting his own money, but Big Meech was the ones that were putting them boys on with the pack. You see what I'm saying? Big Meech was the ones that were putting them boys on. But Big Meech was working for a higher source, which is why he stayed out so long. They picked it, Big Meech. Okay. And you got a Big Meech come from the same bloodline. So he hitting another sign right here telling them hold it down. Hold it down. Hold what down? And look at all these niggas, how they got their hands crossed. That's amazing. All these are signs. And that one dude got his hand like this. It's a reason why these people got Big Meech in jail. I noticed every single picture, he don't never not be hitting the sign. He always hitting the sign in every single picture I can find of him in jail. From this one, right? So he knows something. Now, Big Meech, the connection with the people that he was messing with, he didn't tell on them. So that's why he's still alive. And that's why when he get out, he gonna still have money. They holding a little money down for him keeping quiet. They gave him 30. because you got to keep in mind, it's two different organizations that's fighting against each other. One is the first alphabet boys, which start with an F, which really trace back to the 13 guys that rock our crown but look like clowns when they dress up and go to the circus and shit. And that's the one guys, and they here to stop the prevention of anybody that's Nubian rising up, telling you who you really are. And but now they letting it happen because they already figure like they got everything in the chokehold. They got the game in the chokehold. That's what they think. But the same people that came out to Baba is the same people that came out to Larry Hoover, came out to Jeff Ford, came out to Big Meech, Rick Ross. Well, no, yeah, Rick Ross was those niggas because the other group, which starts with a C, which is really the Knights of Templar. See, we got them two groups fighting against each other. The niggas that rock our crown, but with the medallions on it, and they a whole bunch of clowns, and they go to their temple, and they because they really raising up. Then it's another group, the Knights of Templar, who are really the C group, the C alphabet boys, and they really alchemists, which is why they dealing with the white girl. See, alchemists dealing with we can't say the word, starts with a D. Maybe they could drop it in the chat. So all the stuff that's being brought in was done by the Knights of Templar. They are the alchemists. That's why they working with the chemicals. Keep that in mind. We got to talk like this in order for you to get it. But play it back, roll it back, think about it, roll it in your brain, and you'll figure it out. And the other group is alchemists out to take us out. And then the other group, but the alchemists start making way more money than the other group that rock our crowns, but they're a whole bunch of clowns. And that's what the fight is about. You getting too much power. You getting more money, more power. That's what they think. But really it's more knowledge, more power. But they think it's more money, more power, more respect. And so the C boys, the Knights of Templar, they are the ones was working with Big Meech. Keep this in mind, but I'm about to connect this shit. And the same niggas that was working with Rick Ross, and there's several other niggas that played the game cool that wasn't flashy like that. Like I forget the dude with the afro that's from New York. Maybe somebody could drop his name in the chat. I think his name was Frank Matters, one of them names. But all these cats, you think that they was doing that shit without the people knowing it, those alphabet boys knowing it? No, the alphabet boys picked these people as front man, as muse, as puns in the game. But they picked Big Meech for a reason, which is why they showing you this. They got that ducktail on now, and it goes back to because he of the Flemings goes back to the ancient Egyptians, the Afar people. And you can look at the texture of his son hair. You look at his texture. Look at his features. He got Native American features too because of his mama. And we are the Afar mixed in over here with the Native Americans, because keep in mind, some of the Afar, it was a slave ship called Jesus, drove by a man named John Hawkins. I think Elijah Muhammad taught on it. And John Hawkins specifically went over to the area where the Afar people at, the original Palestinians, the original Egyptians, the original Israelites, and he specifically grabbed people from the Afar and brought them over here. But they didn't kidnap them as slaves. What he did is he studied these people, and he was a tobacco guy. I think he was delivering tobacco or some kind of good. And when he was going amongst them in trade, he started studying them for years, and he found out the difference between amongst the tribe. And the people that was dissatisfied, he went to all them and convinced them to take them back to a new world. That he said it was a new world where you could get where it's more gold than over here. He really was lying about the gold, but it was a lot of gold over here. They ain't know about Abu Bakr's mountain, Rushmore then, Mount Rushmore, as in Rush the Moors. right? But what happens is John Hawkins ended up convincing a lot of these dissatisfactory fall people to come over here as well. So that's one way. And they got to the middle of the ocean. He convinced these people to get on a boat. They didn't chain them down then. He waited till they got to the middle of the ocean, and then people came out the bottom of the boat with muskets and swords and shit, and they arrested everybody, all the Nubians, fall people that came over here, and that's how they brought that one ship over here with they was doing it, and they made away 2 or 3 trips doing it. When they went back the second time, they said that your brothers and your sisters is over here doing good, and you all want to go over here with us, right? You all want to go over here with us back to this new land. So they tricked a couple people, because keep in mind, these were the Frugaloids who were tricksters, and so they tricked a couple trips over here of fall people to come back over here, and that might have been done for a purpose. And then plus you got the Mandingos, who was coming over here with Mansa Musa, who was a fall people. Mansa Musa was a fall. And these beings began mixing in over here too. We talked about that. That's the Yamasi tribe. So really you could say that Big Meech come from the Yamasi when you trace it back. The Flemings, the Williams, the Fletchers, the Yorks, the Tates. We got that. I think we call them tribes out on the list. Hold on, which ones was it? It was the Son Smiths, Williams, Millers, Tates, Yorks, Kings, Freemans, Harris, Wrights, Washingtons, Birds, Flemings, Wins, Dixons, Turners, and Fletchers. Flemings, Fletchers. So you got those names are your Massey people over here in America, and they connect back to the ancient fall people, the people who wore their hairstyle like this. Check out the hairstyle. So some of you niggas' hair over here is like this, especially with those last names. It ain't all the way nappy like that. It's a fall tribe. Man, I know a dude that's a Williams. Man, I'm telling you, man, this shit is crazy, man, how the ancestors just making this shit clear for me. I can show you a dude that was my homeboy the whole time I grew up, and his last name Williams. And I didn't put it together that he was my cousin until now. But he looked just like this dude. He looked just like him. I'm gonna try to pull him up on Facebook on part 2. Here goes some more Gangster Disciples. They rocking the 6-pointed star in the background, but they telling you these people are gangbangers. What was it all about? The Larry Hill influence was the influence that he could control so many people, just like Malcolm X. His influence. It's always 3 reasons why they come after you. Because their whole game plan is capabilities. What is his capability? What was Larry Hoover's capability? He had control over minds. Not only minds, he had control over radical minds. Nigga that'll do whatever he say, whatever Larry Hoover say. You know what I'm saying? So he had the influence. The next thing is money. How much money you got? That's one of their main concerns. Because money gives you the capability. Money gives you capability. So they want to know how much money he got. Oh, he's making money off of this and that. He can raise this much money. That's another threat. And then your influence. That's all part of your influence. And what is the threat? What is the threat? His threat is that he can control all these minds, and not only can he control these minds, this nigga got sense. This nigga got sense, and he's telling niggas to vote, just so we can take over the voting system on the lower level. On a lower level, he said, "Don't worry about the big level. Take over the lower level. Your city, your city mayor, the seats." And this happening in Atlanta and a couple more other cities where a lot of those people have sold up, man. But they was mad about his influence. And so they locked him up in influence. Colorado. Jeff Ford. He was teaching more science. You tell me he wasn't, then why in the hell is he got a feds on right up in that picture? What the hell they telling you about these brothers? And Larry Hoover was dressed just like these people, so he had to be connected. They was connected. I believe they was connected. Jeff Ford and Larry Hoover. So, and the Detroit area is more Moors there than anywhere. It's more Moors in Detroit than anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Islam. Peace. Right? What else we gonna show you? Even Madame Sinclair's, the lady that Bumpy Johnson worked for, her husband is dressed like a Moor. Check that out. He dressed like a Moor. And it's another picture. I couldn't find it today. I had found it before, but I couldn't find that picture. He had a fez on. This is Madame Sinclair's. And I think she come from the Caribbean islands because she was speaking French and Hebrew. She speak French, Hebrew, and English. So this lady wasn't no damn dummy. She was highly intelligent. And why they call her the Queen of Harlem or the Queen period? And why was her husband flying airplanes back in the 1920s? Why he owned an airplane and he was a damn airplane pilot? Let's get it. Let's show you that. Let's connect this nigga, man. They know they done fucked up, don't they? Why is this dude an airplane pilot back in the 1920s? They had nigga pilots back then. And remember, I told you the landing pads were for people to land on flying helicopters and shit. So niggas been pilots. Matter of fact, niggas been pilots since ancient Kemet. Matter of fact, niggas were being pilots since Enki, since the ancient Samaritan teachings. Niggas been pilots way back then. We just gonna put it on wax. We're gonna put it all on wax. So it don't surprise me that a nigga was a pilot in 1920 because niggas been pilots for thousands of years. You know what I'm saying? When you trace it back. Niggas been thousands. So, but this nigga owned his own landing strip and all that. So how much money these people had back in the 1920s? And why is he dressed like a Moor? Why is this nigga dressed like a Moor? Why has she got the same type of hair, like the Moors hair style as the women? What they ain't telling us about this shit. And they was in there running numbers in Harlem. The niggas started the lottery. And then Dutch Cylinders and all the rest of them come in and saw how much money we was making off that shit. And they wanted in on it. The mob. These people were before the mob. The mob then started to Lucky Luciano. Lucky Luciano come under the tutorage. He was tutoring he the one that tutored Bumpy Johnson a lot, but really he learned from the Queen too. But they say that Bumpy Johnson was tutored by Lucky Luciano. I think otherwise. I think Bumpy Johnson was schooling his ass. And then from that point, that's when they started the 5 families and the head boss from Lucky Luciano and Benny Siegel. I think his name Bugsy Siegel or Benny Siegel. Right? That's when they started the 5 families. So who was this lady? We saying it like this because we want you to go do your own research and then bring it back to the young L so we can put more of this shit together with us and Rod Haynes. Let me put my charger. And so they holding Big Meech in jail for 30 years. But when he get out, and they won't let him out, and he won't tell. He won't tell on these people, because why? Because they threatening his son and his kids. They threatening his kids. When they said if you talk up to that you was connected with us, the Knights of Templar, the Sea Boys, then yeah, we're gonna do something to your family. So what Big Meech do? Take the 30 years. It's the same thing they did to Baba, same thing they did to Larry Hoover, same thing they did to Jeff Ford. Make these people take the deal because they threatening their family. Make them take deal. They made Baba take a deal. They threatening his family. They made Big Meech take the deal because they threatening his son and his family. And he sacrificed himself for his family. But he know the truth behind it. Hey, I was working for y'all boys. How y'all gonna get me and I was working for y'all? That's why he was stunned so hard. I'm gonna go lay down. Let me go lay Hakeem down. We're still gonna be talking though. Let's go back to them Big Meech pictures. Let's go back to the Big Meech pictures. Okay. Mr. Flemings. So he took 30 to protect his family. The same thing with they got Larry Hoover Jr. So they was out to threatening his kids, saying if you don't take the deal, we're gonna get your kids. And they gonna be done up and this and that. Same thing with Malcolm X. Malcolm X knew he was gonna get killed at that damn ballroom. People called him and told him right before, don't go. Like Dick Gregory. He knew, but if they would if they didn't get him, he knew that they were gonna come out to his family next. And they was already after his family for one part, putting bombs and stuff on his car. So hold on. This boy sleep, he out. Let me change this diaper. Hey, so they knew Big Meech know, but he can't talk. And they picked him because it's like a ritualistic thing. Your own, we didn't do it to you. Your own pharaoh did it to you. Your own chief, one of your own chiefs did it to you. Not just anybody. They specifically picked these people. They specifically picked Rick Ross. They studied them. These people are very thorough, man, when they go getting people to work for them. They know your mama, they know your grandma, they know what color shit they know what everything you eat, they know what you do, they predict, they write it down, man. They write a book on you. These people, before they fuck with you, they'll write a book on you. So they know who Big Meech was the whole time. Big Meech started stunned too hard. That's really why they can't. A lot of it, if he wouldn't have been stunned so hard, he probably would still be out. He let people know that he was getting money and what he was doing, how to get it. And then so they had to sit him down. But he was really being protected for a long time by those same people who wanted to poison our community. These alchemists who start with the alphabet bars and they start with C. And they really now at war with the other boys who start with an F, who is the niggas that rock our crowns that's clown. That dress up, they circus niggas, they ride in clown cars and at parades and shit. Right? So Big Meech started stunning. He buying, that nigga went to 4 different states in one day. And he took 300, 200 niggas with him on a big private jet. And they go to Las Vegas, they in LA, they in Miami, and they in New York all in one day, flying around on a plane. That's how much money he was spending. They didn't like that. He was stunned like that. But what finally put the nail in this, made them say, man, we gotta take you down for a little while. Say you down. It's when he came to the club, landed in a helicopter, and then he had elephants and giraffes and shit in the club, getting high. I don't know if that was get high or not. Drinking and shit and taking pictures and shit, man. Imagine you hit the club, you get dressed up and shit, you don't know what's going down, you hit the club, you get in the club, there's an elephant in there at the bar having him a drink. You know what I'm saying? That's how much money this nigga had. Then he got 20, then he got about 40 niggas on stage, all of them got big ass chains on, and they got diamonds, all of them got a bankroll on them. And everybody pulled up in a Ferrari, a Lambo, something foreign that costs over $80,000 to $500,000. And they all work for Big Meech. Big Meech got all these niggas on. Everybody. And that's how he was moving. Right? And the people who was giving them the money out for the chemistry they were doing to take our people down and slow us down. They didn't want him to spend it like that. They really wanted him to lay low
And they was gonna probably try to take it from him eventually, like they did Rick Ross. And they said if you lie about any of the money you got here anywhere, offshore accounts, anything, the same thing they did to Rick Ross. Study their history. What you gotta do is you gotta study American history. When something happened in history, that's a fact. Like they came out to Khalid. We know that who killed Khalid Muhammad because they already made an attempt on him at the LA. So we study these people. Just like I learned that from Steve Croker. Steve Croker said you gotta study these people's history, study what they do. And they told us about Rick Ross. How is this nigga making the same amount of money on the East Coast as Rick Ross if he wasn't part of that same program? That same program. Ain't no way he getting that much money and wasn't part of that same program. So Big Meech is a political prisoner. Big Meech. They knew who he was. That's why they picked him. We're gonna get you and the land that he was responsible for distributing the shit that he was putting out. It was all your massive Native American and Indian land. Let's think about that. He was the East Coast guy, pumping it down the East Coast, pumping it to the Midwest. All that's your Massey land, Washita land. Think about that. Think about that. And he rocking the ducktail. That's a connection. That's a connection, bro. Maybe when we get Rob Haynes back on, we're gonna get him to go in more. But everybody thinking that Rob Haynes crazy about what he's saying, and so, but he only can say so much without on certain people's page without them getting taking the shit down. Right. So I hope they don't flag this video. They already flagged the video, but I hope they don't say that I can't get it monetized. I mean, we ain't talking crazy on here. We just pointing it out, bro. So what Rod Haynes is telling you is it's a whole bunch of shit connected to it in the deep end, how these brothers were picked. Certain people are picked for the rap business, for the music business, for the NBA. People are picked for a specific reason. They don't pick regular people to give them a certain amount of money. They don't. Most of these people are royalty. Most of these people are extraterrestrial or some of that nature. That's being that's being picked by these people. So they picked the Flemings. Why? Because Flemings is connected with the damn Yamasee Native. They connected with the Mandingas. They connected with the four people that come from Africa. And the Williams of the Great Britain, the Moors. The Moors. Big Meech is a Moor, right? They connected with the Moors, which is the Malayan Moors, was being York now. Being York, he connected with them. Because being York now was up in that area too. Being York now was up in that area too. Let me get your fan going for you, Hakeem. There you go. I don't want to lay down by yourself. I'm gonna come back in here and lay down with you, though. Yeah, so Big Meech, it's all connected. The Big Meech thing with Rod Haynes is saying it's all connected, man. And Big Meech shooting all the signs to let us know what tribe he from. He's shooting all the signs. He from the ancient Egyptians, the tribe of Yamasee. He from the crowd for Amun Ra. That's why he's shooting them signs like that, man, and all these pictures. Because all these signs are crowd for all these signs. Well, no, I can't tell you that. But I'm just gonna show you this picture. My phone is frozen up. Can they hear me out there, man? Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It seems like my internet then cut off or something. Seems like my internet they cut off. Okay, there you go. Hold up. Yeah, he showed Big Meech shows shooting a lot of signs. One dude said I need to be more organized, so that's why now, and he right. So that's why I'm going ahead and start before I do my shows. Instead of having to look shit up, I already have the pictures looked up in the file, so I can just pull them up and show you like this. But my phone is frozen now. I mean, it ain't doing nothing. Hey, Rob, by if y'all still can hear me, man. I'm probably have to cut the show because my phone it froze up on me, man. I can't even do nothing. But we'll come back probably on and bring more about the Jeff Ford connection, like we showed you him with the feds on. So it's a connection. All that shit is connected. So I might have to cut the show and we'll take a break so I can put Hakeem to sleep. And we might come back with a part two, but we might let's reword it different. Like the Jeff Ford connection with the Moors. We might call it Jeff Ford. What Rob Haynes is saying about Jeff Ford. We might do that one next. And then we're gonna show you Jeff Ford's, the P Stones. Where's the connection? They telling you these people were gangbangers, drug dealers, and killers. And the whole time they working for the respiration of the people, of the knowledge. That's why they got that damn fade. That's why he had that damn fade on. That's why he's shooting Symbol still in jail and holding his square. And he holding this, you notice that he holding his wrist. That means that he's a political prisoner. That's a sign for the Moors. That's here that we've been held kidnapped, that you've been kidnapped. So Big Meech being kidnapped. Jeff Ford being kidnapped and being held as a political prisoner. And Baba being kidnapped and held as a political prisoner. That's what they don't want you really to know, man. Now my phone froze. Look at this shit. I'm telling you. My phone is literally froze. But I'm about to agree to get out, man. If y'all still can hear me, Islam, Hotel, peace, and love are should divine love throughout the balanced universe to all. Wadu. This shit is just froze like mud, man. Look at this. They won't even let me cut it off. This is crazy like a mug. Look at it. I'm telling you. Look at it. It might have crashed my phone, y'all. I can't even turn it off and turn it back on. God, dog. I'm even holding the damn button trying to get that shit to go off. This is crazy, bro. I guess they want us to keep going, man. I'm trying to cut it off. Can y'all still hear me out there? Can y'all hear me? Oh shit. This shit is crazy, yo. This shit is. Yo, can y'all hear me? Man, my phone won't even cut off or nothing, bro. They just froze my screen completely. Like, it's like this, man. I'm telling you, bro. This shit is crazy. I guess they weren't expecting that one. Man, I hope they don't take this video down. Hey, shout out to brother Rob Haynes, man. What the hell is going down with this shit? Now I gotta figure out how to disconnect it. It won't even let me cut the phone off and cut it back on. It just froze the screen. I don't even know if y'all can hear me or not. This shit is crazy, man. Yeah, but like I say, sooner or later, the truth is gonna come out. And it's really coming out right now. But it's a connection between Big Meech and his family going all the way back, connected with the West Coast. I mean, with the East Coast, which is why he was picked. Him and his brother, because they both from the same bloodline. And he had a ducktail in the movie too, in the series. They had his brother with a ducktail. So why they if these boys was actors and they didn't have no when they came in they didn't have no ducktail, what's the purpose of adding a ducktail if they weren't trying to point you out something, if it wasn't a reason why Big Meech wore the ducktail or the raw, like they call it a rat tail. A rat tail, ducktail is really the gold royal braid for the princess. We pointed it out. Man, they really trying to fuck this show up, really. Cause they really ain't letting my phone cut off nothing, bro. I'm talking about this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. I can't take this right here type of phone, you can't even take the battery out the back. You can't take the battery out the back. So you already know they pissed off about this one. This is some high level shit. They probably ain't want you to know. But you just put I just put two and two together. The Big Reach was moving all that money, 300 million, and Rick Ross, and we know who was going down and who was the real. You think if they was the same people who was giving them they shit, Rick Ross them, it's the same niggas they gave Big Meech them they shit. And Rick Ross even went to jail. But he was more, but they didn't give him that much time. Why? Because he was less flashy. He was more low key than Big Meech. Big Meech, some girls will come hang out with Big Meech. He'll give him $20,000 just to hang out. And he said it ain't tricking if you got it. If a nigga calling to Big Meech, man, ain't Big Meech ain't got nowhere to stay. He'll let him stay at one of his houses. Or buy him a house. Nigga get on. Nigga hunt, he go 2 of them, 3 of them things. Nigga go get on. Come back and holler at me when you get ready, right? That's how Big Meech is. Some people are picked, man, because of who they are. And it shows in their personality. His personality was he did a lot of sharing, bro. He did a lot of sharing and passing it out. And that's why they didn't like. They didn't, you notice that Rick Ross didn't really come mess with his people like that. That they weren't really family. He really didn't put money into the hood. He just really bought property and shit. He really was that type of dude that he really didn't went putting back into the community. But so they liked him. This what they wanted. They wanted to pump that shit into the community, drain the community, make them poor. Don't put no money back into the community because that's gonna be a waste of time of the whole mission that we out there of making them poor. So they liked it, Rick Ross, because he didn't do that. That's why he didn't give it for a couple years. He got out. But Big Meech put a walker at the store, walk out, a homeless nigga out there, he gave him a water, $3,000-$4,000. Just handed to him. He was putting the money back into, he was giving it out, man. I'm telling you, everywhere he went. Like y'all, we in here chilling like Big. You would be chilling in there with Big Meech. All of a sudden, you roll up on Big Meech. You in there chilling. Then he like, oh yeah, y'all niggas want to go to y'all niggas want to go to Los Angeles. I mean, or go to Vegas. And he's like, man, I gotta go to work tomorrow. And he be like, man, don't worry about it, man. We'll be back tonight. we'll be back tonight. Nigga, how the hell we gonna make it to Las Vegas and we in Atlanta? How we gonna make it to Las Vegas tonight and be back to go to work in the morning at 9 o'clock? And that's what Big Meech was doing. This type of dude he was. He was giving too much money out. That's another reason why they didn't like him. We putting you on with all this money. We told you don't pump no money back into your community. Don't put none of your people on. And then he made niggas as part of the BML. It's 200 niggas. Everybody got chains. Everybody got foreign cars. Everybody got over 300,000 in their pocket at the crib. Some niggas got niggas that's close to him. That he thought that was real. He gave them. They had millions. Big Meech whole thing was showing the love. See, look, like showing the love, and the love did pay off really because now his son is getting the money from him putting 50 Cent on, and from him putting Young Jeezy on, and a whole bunch of other niggas like Gucci Man. Like half of the niggas in Atlanta, Big Meech put on. Half of the niggas in Atlanta, bro. Especially the niggas that talking about dealing drugs. Lulu Chris. It's a whole bunch of niggas, a list of them. Big Meech put them on. His favorite was Young Jeezy, though. He liked the Young Jeezy because Young Jeezy was rapping about the shit that like how he was doing, how he was stunning, and how they was moving and shit. He liked the Young Jeezy, so he put Young Jeezy on. Man, I cannot get out of this class, bro. I guess the ancestors want me to go to my phone, go did. Probably got about 5% left on that joint. Yeah, but I guess I gotta talk to the battery run did. Cause it ain't letting me turn it off. It froze the phone. Did I say y'all can hear me? Yeah, so and then when they took Big Meech to court, gave him 30 years on a Rico. A Rico is like to me, I bet it's a loophole in the Rico where it's against the Constitution and everything. Because a lot of people they don't even indict them. And it's stuff they do indict him on, it be like, oh yeah, we got him on the phone talking about he got $100,000. Just some shit like that. Oh, we got him on the phone saying this. That's what they did to my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law, he got 10 years in the feds just because he made a phone conversation to the wrong guy, a call to the wrong guy. I'm about 2 or 3, maybe about, probably longer than that, probably like about 15 minutes from where Big Meech got caught at. I was there when he got caught. I saw it when I was in Dallas. I saw it when they had it on the news that Big Meech got caught. And they already knew what he was. They knew everything about him. Why? Because he was working for them. He was working for them. They were supposed to protect him. But he giving too much money out to his people. He helping his people. He's supposed to pull all the money out. But this is what they wanted Big Meech to do. They want him to handle his business, make that money, don't put no money back into your community. And then when we get through with you, you go move to some island or move to some secluded neighborhood and live with your money after you just took all your paws in your whole tribe. And they can't, and as galactic law, they can't say that we can't come and say that they did it to us because they're gonna say we did it to ourselves. And not only did you do it to yourself, one of your chiefs, one of your head bloodlines, top bloodlines that we knew Big Meech is one of your top chiefs. He come from a line of chiefs, and then we gonna use him to poison. That way we can say you did it to your own people. You poisoned your own people. We didn't do it, and he lived good off of it. He lived good off of it. That's what they're gonna try to say, right? Let's think about the time mindset that Big Meech got. Royal people got those type of mindsets. That's why he accumulated so much money. That's why they liked him. Because how he was less, Big Meech wasn't no killer. Big Meech was less aggressive. They liked it, Big Meech. Less bodies. His thing was always resolve things with money. Oh, you want beef with me? Nigga, I give you 300,000. You want to squash that beef? Oh yeah, nigga, you gonna be ready to squash 300 for the beef for 300,000. Oh, nigga, you don't like me? How much you paying for? You paying 25? All right, nigga, I'm gonna let you get for 15. Depending on how many you get for 10. And I'm gonna put you on. That's how Big Meech roll. He ain't that one. He was less confrontational than most of the other people they were dealing with. And I tell you, my phone will not cut the hell off. So they didn't want this class to go down like this, bro.
But I know how to get out. I know how to get out of it though. I'm going to go the long way. So man, we just came to drop it on you. We just want you to know the truth. We want you to be connected with what we saying with this thing. And why is Big Meech shooting all these signs in jail? Letting you know what tribe he from. He from the I think Mentellect, the Mentellect, he call it the almond beans. He call us the almond beans, right? So we are the almond beans. So he hitting, why is Big Meech hitting the almond bean sign if he ain't no almond bean? This shit come to people natural, man. I can show you pictures of my brother doing the same thing. We're gonna switch it up. All right, so we're about to get up out of here, man. I'm gonna close the meeting now. All right, so peace and love. Islam Hotel, man. I hope y'all learned something. And we got more on this. Like I say, I'm still researching and studying and putting things. I'm trying to put this shit together. And I'm just using my imagination to put it together. And based on what I already know, what other people told me, based on what Rod Haynes said about Big Meech. And so I was looking into it. As soon as he said it, I got other stuff. The brother Rod Haynes listening. I'm studying those tapes you gave me, and we'll be getting with you probably tomorrow on it. But the ancestors just came to me on this information when I was just doing the research on it, and just told me to present what I got so far, and then we'll get together and we'll see what else we can put together on this shit. So Islam, peace and love, Hotel, Ashug, divine love throughout the boundless universe.